It is October 20th, 2025. Level Up College Football Podcast in the building. Y'all, my computer is super trash. I'm going to give it the dumpster fire alert right off the bat. Had to reset everything, start from scratch. So don't blame none of this on Sarah C. This is all Big G with the big trash computer problems and issues. But we're here. We finally got everything worked out. Back in the building with my girl, Sarah C. Sarah, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. Really great weekend of football. And I was at the Mumford & Sons concert last night, so I'm struggling a little bit. So if I have some big dark circles under my eyes, that's why.
Damn, Sarah, what was you doing at the Mumford & Sons?
It was, I've seen them one other time, and I was a little bit too distracted by other things, and I don't remember it all. So I wanted to see them live again, and it was great. But yeah, I'm a little tired.
Yeah. I get it. I totally get it, man. Is that music too loud for you? Can you hear everything all right?
It's a little loud if you don't mind.
I got you. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Sarah, while I'm fixing adjusting the music, we had a crazy weekend in college football. We had a insane weekend in college football. I think it was one of the better weekends of college football play that we've had.
Oh yeah.
Big Pun said I'm looking like the Grinch in green. You know why, Pun? Because I'm declaring war. I'm declaring war to all you diabolical Big Ten haters out here. You see, there's a Buckeye till I die. This is camouflage, baby boy. I'm declaring war. I'm declaring war against all the diabolical Big Ten haters that watch us on the Level Up podcast and the KnoItAllz podcast. Because we're going to talk about some stuff today, and we're going to move some furniture around. But Sarah, like I said, it was a big weekend in college football. Big, huge weekend in college football. I think we learned some stuff. There's some other things I don't know that we learned yet. You know, and some of this has to do with, in my opinion, some of the big bias of what's going on concerning the Associated Press poll. And I'm not buying into the AP poll, Sarah. Just your thoughts, man. Just your thoughts.
No, I agree, because we're qualifying some of these losses a little bit higher than some of these other losses right now. And I still don't I get USC lost. Like it was Notre Dame. Holy crap. Like you got two of the best running backs right now in college football. The way that they're doing that right now, and CJ Carr is playing very well for a freshman. Mm-hmm. But I just they jumped up so much, and then you're dropping teams just so easily, and then bringing in these other. It's too much chaotic at the bottom that the top is not getting, I think, as much respect or attention as it probably should be, because there's all this mess that's going on in that under 10 than there is in the top 10.
Yeah, and listen, I'm gonna say this right off the bat. I know I picked USC to win. I don't remember if you picked right, but I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna give props to USC. Notre Dame. Notre Dame played their ass off. Let's be perfectly clear, right? But USC did a lot of things to hurt themselves in the game, including after you score to take the lead, you give the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown up, including have 2 red zone turnovers. Now, don't get me wrong. Love put himself in Heisman contention. Can't take nothing away from him. Outstanding win from Notre Dame. And now is it clear that Notre Dame makes their path to the playoff? So I get that. But the issue, I'm not so much tripping about the Notre Dame win against USC. I'm talking about the disrespect overall for the Big Ten Conference. Sarah, I know you didn't figure out the numbers. I know you didn't look at it. We have 5 Big Ten teams ranked. We have 5 Big 12 teams ranked. We have 4 ACC teams ranked, 1 at-large Notre Dame ranked, and 10 SEC teams ranked in the top 25. This is diabolical, especially when some of the teams that's ranked, I'll start my argument, at number 17, Tennessee. Who in the hell have they beat? Nobody, because people say, well, who's Oregon beat? Who's Indiana beat? Who in the hell is Tennessee beat? That's just my argument to start it off, Sarah. Your thoughts, man, concerning that.
I mean, I agree with you on that one. I can't understand how the heck LSU is still up there right now, because if there is one SEC team that just does not look good, it is them. They're falling down a cliff slowly, but it's happening. Like that offense hasn't done anything. Nussmeier has done nothing. That defense, I mean, they're constantly getting injuries in their big spots with Weeks being out this past week. You know, you never know if they're going to be fully healthy. I mean, you got NFL players on that defensive side, but coaching, offense, just overall, I just don't see how you can have them ranked. That's really the only team that really, really gets me a little bit angry. The rest of them, I kind of understand. Tennessee, I get.
Tennessee pissed me off, Sarah. They shouldn't be ranked.
Well, that loss was bad against Bama. Like, that was bad. Like, they don't have a defense this year.
Right. Their best win was against freaking Syracuse, who's trash. Look at who they played for all y'all that's watching us. Big 12 insiders, that's big facts. LSU and Tennessee are both overrated. They should not be ranked in the top 25. So there's two of your 8 teams right off the bat, right? And I'm gonna preface this point. Everybody can say whatever. When was the last time you seen back-to-back 40-point games given up to all these different teams? I mean, the only team to me in the SEC, the only team to me, Sarah, that's even got a respectable defense is Alabama.
Oh yeah,
100%. The rest of them, they giving up 40. They giving up 40 to teams like Texas A&M gave up 42 points to Arkansas. They gave up 42 freaking points to Arkansas. Are you serious?
No, I agree. They keep putting this whole, like, because there's depth there and there's so much more, you know, it's a stronger. I don't understand how you can really say that's stronger whenever you guys are known for certain styles of play and you're not playing like that at all. Besides Bama, I think Bama has gotten a lot better as the season has gone on, because that FSU loss looked real bad and everyone was ready to put Kalen DeBoer out. And he has really put a lot of belief in this team. And that Simpsons kid has a lot of moxie in him. And I like him. I really, really, really like him. I'm not a big Bama girl. Like, I don't usually go that way, but like, I'm really liking what they're doing this year. And finally, Williams showed up. So that was nice to see.
Listen, as of today, I'll give the bounce back team of the year, Alabama, right?
So far,
right off the back, so far. Andre Green, man, Big G, all they want to do is get as many SEC teams in the college football as they can, playoff as they can. It's not going to work. Just watch and see. I agree. Big 12 Insider says Oklahoma is mid, Oklahoma is mid, and Texas are both ranked too high. I agree. First of all, let me say what's out to all the people. Go ahead, Sarah, while I'm looking at all the people.
Sorry, but the thing is with Oklahoma and Texas, they are the only two teams in the SEC besides Bama that have a freaking defense right now, that are actually playing defensive football. So, I mean, I know Oklahoma had that, you know, Mateer had that really bad game, but he's managing the game right. Texas's offense has got a lot of problems, and I really hope that Manning realizes he needs to come back next year, because if he tries to come out this year, that kid's going in. He's going to be the next Shedeur Sanders. He's going way later than you would even think.
In the 5th round. Hey, so what's up? What's up, Steeler Porce? What's up, Pickens, you big dummy? What's up, Tim Lyons? Man, big win for Notre Dame. Give you a shout out, man, for sure. Big win against Notre Dame. What's up, Afton? What's up, Jay Steve? What's up? Like I said, big punishment already. I said was crack-a-lacking to you. What's up, Rob Lightfoot? What's up, Big 12 Insiders? What's up, Steeler Lee? What's up, Andre Green? Good to see all. What's up, Gavin? Good to see all you guys in the live chat, man. Now, let me address this too, Sarah. Ohio State is ranked number 1.
Yes.
Indiana is ranked number 2.
Yes.
Indiana has lost 2 games in 2 years, including to the 2 teams that played in the national championship game last year. Notre Dame and Ohio State played for the national championship game. That's who Indiana lost to. How is Indiana big trash? How are they not getting no respect? Indiana done whooped everybody they played. What's this all about, Sarah? What's this all about?
I don't know. I don't think just people have a lot of belief in it just yet. And they do. They're probably the one that has the easier schedule out of the whole Big Ten. I definitely don't see a lot of big games. I mean, the Penn State game would have been big, but then look at what happened to Penn State. I mean, they don't have the hardest schedule, but they're scoring a lot of points. And I think that he's consistently growing. I mean, this is his second year. So, I mean, they might not be like the cream of the crop or anything. They might not be considered number 2 in a lot of people's books. But for what that team has done in 2 years, you have to give that team respect. And I think that quarterback, I mean, everything about that quarterback I love. Last year with him getting Rourke out of, or not Rourke, I forget who he had out of the transfer portal. And then this year getting Mendoza out of the transfer portal. Like he's using that the right way. And he's just teaching all of these other teams that you can win, you know, recruiting that way, but you also still do need to recruit. I'd like to see what he can get out of his team. He needs to get a couple more higher stars. He's getting a lot of good play out of some lower star players right now. So, I mean, I think it comes down to coaching, truly. I think that I just think he's a great coach.
Yeah, listen, Cignetti is a top hire in the country. What he's done to turn Indiana's program around in 2 years is unbelievable. I.e., why they gave him an extension of $90 million and turned around and dumped $250 million into the football program for improvements to help also with the recruiting and the ability to go out and get NIL players. Yes. They dump the money because they see the proof on the pudding. And the issue is whether you like Mendoza or not. Mendoza has 1,799 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 1 pick. What are you talking about? He's out there destroying everybody he's playing against. So, and like I said, don't forget that Indiana got put out last season, Sarah, against Notre Dame, and they had 8 COVID players, 5 starters, and went to South Bend, Indiana, and Notre Dame went to the national championship game by punishing some of them SEC, so-called SEC. They punished Georgia.
Oh.
Tennessee came to Ohio State and got blasted.
That's when Big Ten football looks great, because you're playing in these colder weather games and they have these home games. They know how to do it. Some of these SEC teams don't now, because they're all about throwing the ball, unless you get that Bama and Georgia who actually know how to, you know, offensive, defensive line. Like, just that's how the Big Ten is built.
Yeah. Gavin, I agree with it, man. College football is turning into minor league football. Yeah, it's just different now.
Yeah.
Listen, and this is my opinion. I might be dead wrong for saying this. But what NIL did, Sarah, in my opinion, is it leveled the playing field across the board for teams to be able to recruit equally based on money distribution.
It created parity. Like, it's not the same old every year. Like, it's fun to watch all these other smaller schools play, because they have some really good players on these teams that you don't normally expect to see. And I really like the fact that, like, I mean, Miami lost this past week. No, I truly did not see that happening.
Sarah, we were talking when it happened. We was talking. Sarah was like, "Holy shit!" Like,
did you see that he literally caught the interception midair, and somehow, as he's midair, has the control of the ball to not fall on the ground. I don't even know how that's even physically possible, how they did that, but they did, and it looked great.
Right, and what it showed us, Sarah, is that because there was a whole bunch of people out there, Miami would give Ohio State a game. Miami would get punished. If they played Ohio State, it would get ugly. It would get ugly if Miami played Ohio State. Matter of fact, Miami ain't even the best team in the ACC, Sarah. Miami ain't the best team in the SEC. In the ACC. They're not the best team in the ACC. It ain't even close to being the best team.
Are you going to say Tech? Who do you think's the best in the ACC?
Virginia ain't to be played with either.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Virginia ain't to be played with. Georgia Tech ain't to be played with. Louisville ain't to be played with. They're not. Louisville 6-1. They 6-1.
I know. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, Louisville's not. There's some squads out there. They're not to be played with, man. They're not to be. But so, and this is why I'm saying. And I'm predicting this already, whether they believe, oh, yeah, SMU, you're right, still elite. SMU ain't to be played with either.
Nice win. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you right now, don't be shocked if the Big Ten wins their 3rd consecutive title. And I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying that the issue and the deal is that what made the SEC great for years, and I got the utmost respect for Nick Saban. Trust when I'm telling you, when somebody asks me who's the GOAT, Sarah, it's Saban.
Oh, God, yeah.
Saban's the GOAT. But the issue with how Saban did it was because he was able to stockpile NFL talent on top of NFL talent on top of NFL talent. His third string could beat most first string schools during his era. Yes. Kirby Smart came in and did the same thing at Georgia when they first got relevant. He stockpiled NFL talent. Now, since Georgia won their last national championship, the talent ain't waiting. They're going to hit the portal. They're going to go somewhere else where they can play. They might get paid equal amount of money based on market value and the player to get them to come over there. So now, like you said, Sarah, you're seeing these teams that's doing stuff, and you're like, wait a minute, why? Because the playing field's leveled out, Sarah. The playing field's leveled out. You feel me?
Oh, I feel it. I like it.
Me too. I love it. Big Pun said Mario Cristobal is the Mike Tomlin of college football. Losing the inferior rosters and regular punishment. I'm not even going to take that blasphemy from you, but I ain't got time to put you in the matrix. That's blasphemy. Mike Tomlin, check me out tomorrow on Keeping It 100. You're going to find out something what I got to say about Mike Tomlin, Mr. Punishment, since you want to go there. Trust me, you're going to have something to say. But listen, Sarah, the deal is, I know you got no comment. I know because you with me with a lot of this. I know. Right, but the deal is this. The deal is this. The parity in college football, like you said, from 10 down, anybody can beat anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And I think in 10 up, it's going to be hard to beat any of them. However, we're going to talk about it when we get to the schedule this week. I think there's a top 10 team that's Fugazi is all get up. And I think they're going to take a lump this weekend. We'll talk about it when we get to the schedule. But Sarah, last thing before we start talking about this first segment. Do you think if you said that there was 3 top clear teams, because we've done this 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and I mean,
right? We were talking. Do you think that anything changes concerning number 1 and number 2? And now, who is your third team that Miami's shown us they're not who we think they are? So 1 and 2 we know is going to be the same, at least for me and you.
It has to be right now because they don't have losses and they don't have any really, really bad games where like you thought maybe, they might not win. They're pulling them out and they're pulling them out very, very convincingly. Mm-hmm. It's actually who I talked about earlier. I think Bama might be up there right now. I think Bama they're I guess climbing consistently, and the stats on this Simpson kid is like he's right there with Mendoza right now when it comes to stats. Like they're both playing very, very error-proof football, which is truly, I don't care what level of football you're in. If your quarterback is staying error-proof and not throwing picks and not making dumb decisions, you're going to continuously win. And both of those teams have that in a quarterback right now.
Big facts, Sarah. Big. And that's why I say the turnaround story of the season is Alabama. As of right now, Alabama's turned it around. Ty Simpson has to be a top 3 Heisman candidate.
Oh, right? Yeah.
We know that Ohio State and Indiana are the cream of the crop. And I agree with you totally that Alabama enters the fray. Texas Tech is not who we thought we were. Miami's not who we thought they are. I don't even think Georgia's who we think they are. And we're going to find out a lot about Georgia over the next couple of weeks. But I'm not saying it.
They're gritty.
Oregon, they're gritty because they got a gritty coach. But Sarah, we know that Alabama should have beat them. I mean, Auburn should have beat them.
Oh God,
we know that Auburn had them boys beat. We know that. There was some cheating going on down there.
Well, but here's the thing. Auburn has a quarterback that you cannot trust. And this is why they continuously keep losing the games in the fourth quarter. Because they are stayed super close and then just a dumb move by Jackson Arnold or someone on that. They can't finish the 60. I mean, you got to settle in for 60. And if you can't finish in 60, you're going to lose.
Shout out to Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze, I think, and now that Billy Napier is going out of Florida, I think you the next man on Adios Muchachos. That's our segue. That's our segue. Sarah, we said at the beginning of the season that there was going to be a short leash for a lot of coaches. Every coach that me and you name when we kicked the show off at the beginning of the season has officially been canned. Every coach that me and you named has officially been canned. They're not there anymore.
No.
Right? So we said James Franklin, we said Billy Napier, we said Deshaun Foster out of UCLA.
Look at that.
We said they're gone. We called it at the beginning of the season. Sarah, next man up for you. Who's next man up?
Well, so I thought it was going to be Norvell, but they just came out today with the program saying that they're going to wait until the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So he's really the biggest one. And then also Wisconsin with Fickle, I thought he might be on the chopping block. They're also coming up behind him and trying to say that they want to bring in more money to the school and see what he can do, I think, with NIL. So those were really the two biggest ones because of just how bad their teams have been for this entire season. I'm still really intrigued to see what's going to happen with Lincoln Riley. I think that, they have an easier schedule for the rest of the season, but I'd like to see how they end up. And if they end up being ranked or if they end up staying out being unranked, I'd be very intrigued to see if he has a job right now. I'm trying to think of who else I've been trying to. Those were really my two, is Fickle and Norvell, and both of their schools are being like, well, we're going to keep them. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see.
Lions, I didn't say Marcus Freeman. I said Marcus Freeman will be the next man up to get a big time job. I said he's a top 5 coach in the country. I know Sarah knows I said that.
I was like, I definitely didn't say he was.
Yeah, heck no, we didn't talk about Marcus Freeman, a top 5 coach in the country. Marcus Freeman, listen, if Penn State puts up enough bread, Marcus Freeman gone. Believe me. If Florida Gators put up enough bread, Marcus Freeman gone, bruh. We talking about a team that could be an SEC powerhouse, Sarah.
But he doesn't have to deal with a conference right now. Like, that is like golden.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to deal with a conference right now. I don't know how much better it gets when you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, but Marcus Freeman's a dog coach, man.
I know.
And this is the deal about Notre Dame. Notre Dame just don't lay an egg. Because in years past, when you were on the crisp or on the cusp, you laid an egg. You don't have nobody left on your schedule. You got, I think, North Carolina State. I think this outside of that.
No, they played them already.
Oh, they got all bums. They got bums left for the rest of the way. Don't lay an egg, Notre Dame. You're in the playoff. Now, you're not going to be, you'll probably be a 9 or a 10 or 11 or 12 seed, but you're going to make the playoff, man. You're going to make the playoffs, right?
They got Navy, who we all thought was going to be good.
They're going to blow them out.
Yeah, and then Pitt,
that's it.
Syracuse, Stanford.
Pitt could give them a game, but it's not going to be close.
I am.
Pitt could give them a game, but they got a freshman quarterback. So Notre Dame low lay an egg. You're going to be a 9 through 12 seed. You're going to have to go on the road in the first round of the playoffs, but you're going to make the playoff. You're going to make the playoff. And that's all that matters, because if you get in the playoff, you got an opportunity to do something special to win a national championship.
You start 0-0 again.
Yep. All right, Sarah, who had the biggest BTA last week? In your opinion, in your mind, who had the biggest BTA?
Oh, God, I don't even know who the heck would have. There wasn't a lot of, like, the good games weren't massive blowouts. So I don't know if, like, those weren't, the ones that I was paying attention were the blowouts and everything like that. But I'm upset with Texas Tech. Like, I am very upset with Texas Tech. I don't understand what happened. I mean, if you want to talk about a blowout, Oregon freaking murdered Rutgers. But I mean, like, that's not even like a conversation right now, because Rutgers hasn't been worth anything. And I don't even know how long. I know it's a really good school, but as a football program.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be either that. And then, like I said earlier, it wasn't a big score, but Vandy beating LSU and the way that they did was just, it was pretty. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoy this team even more and more and they didn't even make a big deal when they won like they did last year when they beat Bama, because they know that they are like, they're in the same tier now with the SEC. They're not the bottom anymore, which I think is just awesome. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
I think, Sarah, so last week's standings, if you guys don't know, both of us went 5-2, right? Yeah, we both went 5.
I know
we lost Notre Dame and USC.
Yeah,
and we lost Tech. And we lost Tech.
Okay.
Those are the 2 games we lost. We won the other 5.
Okay.
Right? So now where's, Theresa-B, she ain't on the show today, but Teresa's got some splaining to do.
She went with her heart a lot.
she got some splaining to do because there's a bunch of BTAs that happen. Now, Sarah, before I get to my BTA, I'm gonna play this little graphic.
Boy, your mama told me you was disrespecting her, okay? So pick one. Either way it go, this ends with you getting a whooping.
Yeah. The BTA moment of the week for me, Sarah, was the diabolical mess or game that was played by Tennessee and going to Alabama. Oh, yeah. Alabama beat the hell out of Tennessee. But let me tell y'all something. Even in Alabama's win, they gave up almost 400 yards. The SEC's teams, Ole Miss, 500 yards gave them up. Georgia gave up 400 some odd yards. Alabama gave up 400 some yards. Tennessee gave up almost 500 some yards. Right? They run it through them like goose mess. They run it through them. The SEC's not what it used to be. I'm not saying that they're bad, but they're not what they used to be as far as teams. And Bama's the only one that got a defense there. So my biggest BTA of the week, Tennessee, you don't deserve to be ranked. You are flax, Andre Green. Tennessee is a super pretender. They shouldn't even be ranked in the top 25. And Sarah, I lightweight want to say Texas too. Kentucky had them dead to rights.
Oh yeah,
they had them
an awful game.
Dead to rights. Well, outside of 2 big kickoff returns, Texas, you lose against Kentucky.
That's why I'm
they
saying
shouldn't be ranked either.
Their defense is the only thing keeping them.
Yeah,
only thing.
Well, Mark Stoops had a bonehead play. You kicked the freaking field goal, bro. Their offense did nothing. You ran it the same play 3 times in a row on the goal line and expected them not to stop it. You ran the running back jump over the top of the pile 3 times in a row. They stopped it 3 straight times. Now they get the ball back and kick the field goal and win the game. If you kick the field goal, you go to another overtime. Boneheaded play of the week. Mark Stoops, go for the freaking field goal and play defense, man. Your team shut them down. They didn't do nothing. By the way, you guys don't know, Texas won 13-10 overtime against Kentucky, who's a 2-win team. Once again, another SEC team, Texas, Tennessee, LSU, shouldn't be ranked. Should not be ranked. But it's the SEC bias. And I digress. Sarah, all right, so we got the lineup this week. I think we got, like I said, on this show, we don't do prediction anymore. We just give the highlights for what's going to happen for this upcoming week with games, right? We know that we got some ranked on ranked, but I think this is the upset Saturday special, right? I think that there could be a lot of upsets happen this week. So we might highlight some games that possible upset can happen, right? We'll talk about them. We'll break it down. We might give you a hint or two of what we might do moving on our Saturday show and get your game day on. That's where you're going to find out who we picked, so that way you diabolical watchers, you can keep up with who's picking what and how, right? So, Sarah, we got game one. Stop it, Big G. You pumping up Ohio State win over Texas like they beat because they caught them week 1, pun, when they was the number 1 ranked team in the country. And Arch Manning was the second coming of Jesus Christ. And our babyface assassin quarterback hadn't played any games. Mess with babyface assassin now if you want to. You in trouble. Babyface assassin. I ain't even got time to go in about what Ohio State doing with that quarterback, Julian Sayin. He's Heisman Trophy winning candidate for sure. All right, so first game on the docket. Number 8, Ole Miss versus number 13, Oklahoma. Sarah, what you got this week for Ole Miss and Oklahoma?
Well, I mean, like, it goes back to that defense on Oklahoma. I have a lot of faith in them. And Ole Miss last week, I mean, allowing 510 yards, 34 first downs. 34 first downs. Mm-hmm. And they ran on them 221 yards. Mm-hmm. And they converted almost 50% of their third down conversions. I mean, that's bad. Then you look at Oklahoma, still has the number 1 total defense. They, their most amount of points that they've allowed was that 1 loss against Texas, and that was 23 points. They limited South Carolina to only 54 rushing yards, and they sacked Sellers 6 times. Mateer just has to stay clean. He has 6 interceptions. Most of them happened in 2 weeks in that loss. So if he can stay clean and Oklahoma just plays that nice, gritty defense that they really have this year, which I really enjoy watching, I think Trinidad's going to have a better game this week. I really enjoy watching this Ole Miss team. I think they'll definitely put up some points because that's what they do. So I don't know, I'm not going to say, for sure, but I think it's going to be very much Ole Miss's offense and Oklahoma's defense and which one can be at 100% for that day. And that's going to be really what decides this game.
I mean, Sarah, I'm not mad at it because I think Oklahoma, they might be a mid team. But I think that who's more of a question, and I doubt that they're a top team, is Ole Miss.
Yeah. No,
Lane Kiffin ain't that dude. Sarah. He's not that dude. He's not. Go back and look at their records. Look at their records after they lose a game. Look at what they do. And they don't have it on the defensive side of the ball.
No, not this year at all.
They don't have it, right? So defense travels well, but defense plays better at home. So Ole Miss has to go to Oklahoma, right? And they don't have a defense. So I don't think Ole Miss is for real. I think their ranking of a number 8 is entirely too high. In my opinion, they don't deserve to be a top 10 team. And I think we're going to mess around and find out a little bit this week about what Ole Miss actually is concerning how Oklahoma's defense set up. And if the quarterback of Oklahoma, like you said, plays a clean game, look for an 8 to 10 sack game and possible multiple turnovers from Oklahoma's defense. Because they got it. They have NFL talent across the board on Oklahoma's defense. Just got to play a clean game. All right, so we're going to switch. We're going to go to our Tim Lyons. Ole Miss is fun to watch, but they fugazi. This is my, like I said, make sure you catch the game day show. Get your game day on Saturday. But this is my first one that I'm telling you, we're going to find out real quick, fast, in a hurry who Ole Miss really is. Second game, Sarah, Kansas State versus Kansas. Might not mean a lot, but I think that it means a lot to a lot of people, including one of the people we rock with on the show, Afton. Listen, this is a big game for Kansas State and Kansas. We don't have really a big highlight game in the Big 12 this week because, heck, we don't even know who's the best. Is it BYU? Oh, I mean, who is it? Who is the best down there? We don't know.
I don't know yet.
Right. So we're going to highlight the Kansas State-Kansas game. Sarah, what you got this week? Sarah, listen, what Afton said, she said her money on KU, and she's a Kansas State alum. Damn, Afton. She done gave up all hope. Johnson is that trash? Avery Johnson, the quarterback from Kansas State, is super trash like that? Go ahead, Sarah.
I don't know. When I was looking up a lot of the stats, because, last year I was really, I enjoyed Kansas State. I thought that their team was a lot of fun. I even enjoyed Kansas. I mean, I really like that quarterback. I think that they both have really fun offenses. They're actually quite evenly matched on both sides of the ball right now. Their rankings and everything, but both quarterbacks are dual threat quarterbacks. They both know how to run. They're both not running as much though as they usually do. Avery Johnson is still the number 1 rusher for Kansas State. Daniels is not this year for Kansas. Right. Johnson only has 2 interceptions, which I feel like last year he was throwing the ball to everybody under the sun that wasn't on his team, but he was fun to watch. So I really think that that's interesting. And they have a +6 turnover ratio, so they're getting turnovers too. So I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I think both of these teams can be super entertaining. I like the Kansas State I love interstate, rivalries, all that kind of stuff. I find that fun. It's fun to watch that hate. It's just an entertaining type of thing. But I think this is probably one of the more evenly matched games. And it'll be interesting what happens with this Big 12. I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen with this Big 12 because really a lot of them, they have 2 losses, but if they both go, one of them goes all the way out, one of them could end up in the Big 12 championship. Who the heck knows? Because now Iowa State's has, everyone's losing, random games that you don't know. And with Tech now putting down one. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with this Big 12. I don't think either of these teams are going to make it, but I do enjoy watching both of them.
Yeah, a facts there. Big 12 Insider says KU's defense is 126
they're both
in the country. Give me Kansas State in a close one. Hey, I think it comes down to which quarterback plays better. Is it Daniels or is it Johnson? I think whatever quarterback plays the bigger game is team's going to win. So, but yeah, KU's defense is big trash. Big 12 Insiders. You ain't never lied about that. Big Pun, you right with this one. Don't sleep on Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, I keep forgetting about them. Still.
Cincinnati ain't to be played with. Cincinnati ain't to be played with. So don't sleep on them. But if you talk about a conference where you want to watch the games and the games are fun, it's the Big 12.
Oh God, yeah.
The games are great. I mean, I stayed up to watch the BYU Utah game because I knew it was going to be a good game, and it was. So yeah. I'm glad that the Associated Press hasn't looked past the Big 12 as far as being having actual teams that can contend. The Texas Tech loss hurts a lot, but they still have 5 teams ranked in the top 25. So to me, that's a lot of respect. Sarah.
No, I agree.
All right. Third game, Missouri versus 15th-ranked Missouri, who should have lost, versus Vanderbilt, who's now a top 10 ranked team. Sarah, what you got, Missouri versus Vanderbilt?
Well, I mean, yes, Missouri probably should have lost, but they seem to be pulling out wins. I don't even know how. And then their defense stepped up definitely in the second half I know that there were the calls and everything like that people were getting upset about that continuously keeps happening to Auburn, which is just, I don't know. This SEC officiating this season has been a little bit questionable throughout as a blanket. Like, it's not just one. It's been kind of iffy about throughout the thing. But I mean, the defense definitely did step it up. They had the last 17 snaps, they only let 29 yards and 54% on the third downs. And they have the thing is that they are -2 in turnovers. And but here's the thing that this is the big thing I always say with the NFL, and I don't say it as much with college when I'm talking about, they're 4th in time of possession.
Correct.
And
that is fact.
I
They'll
think
be on her stuff, man, because I swear I was going to point that out. That's good stuff.
The only team, though, that I feel like also really tries to run the ball and keep the ball is the team that they're playing, and that's Vandy. They also, their defense has definitely improved this past year. The way that they were able to stop in the red zone those plays and get those kick field goals was, I really, really thought that was impressive, because you really thought like, oh crap, they're going to run this in. This is going to get interesting. Pavia, I just think, is a ball of fresh air. Like, it's so entertaining. He's so positive. I love what he's done with that team. And they are definitely doing well. They get the third downs because he'll just, if he can't find the play, he runs it. He he gets those, like, he can see what's happening, which I really, really think. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen. I think his size is his biggest issue when it comes into the next level. But that defense, I think that if that defense can really put some pressure on Missouri, Prabula's playing really well, but I don't know about all the other aspects of Missouri right now, because they're playing very gritty, low scoring games. They're not putting up a bunch of points when Vandy can put up a bunch of points. So I think it's going to be entertaining. I love the fact that it's in Nashville again. I think, because they get the 2.5 points. So that's the home field advantage pretty much in that game. But I want to see what they can do 2 weeks in a row in Nashville. And if they win again, like, I'll see the goalpost coming out of this game before I would have probably seen it out of LSU.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts, Sarah. And I'm going to say this, man. Diego Pavia has an opportunity to propel himself into the Heisman Trophy conversation. If they win this week against Missouri. I think that would be 2 ranked opponents in a row. I think the national media is now starting to respect them a little bit because they did place them in the top 10. But we're going to find out, because the one thing about Missouri is they are the grittiest team maybe in college football. They grind, man. They're gritty. They're hard-nosed. They stop the run. They're excellent against the pass. Missouri's tough on defense, man. And Pavia, we know about him, but do they have that second and third explosive weapon that can do some things to propel them to a win against a hard-nosed defense in Missouri. So it's going to be a must-watch game for me. And I think the winner of this game puts themselves in position to possibly be contending for the SEC championship game, in my opinion. Easier path for Vanderbilt and Missouri versus some of those other SEC current contenders. All right? Next game. Yeah, facts, Sarah. UCLA.
Yeah.
And Indiana, who's ranked number 2. Sarah, Nico's one of the hottest quarterbacks in the country. They had to change. They had to change their coach. Nussmeier, the interim coach, comes in and he says, "Listen, we're gonna ride Nico. We're gonna ride out with Nico. Nico's a football player. He's got some help. He's got some weapons." Talk to me, Sarah, about UCLA versus Indiana.
Yeah, their last 3 wins, and it's gone down, but 42 points, 38 points, and 20 points. And Nico is their number 1 rusher. He has 360 yards on the field. So they don't have anybody else that can back him up. So they're using his feet just as much as they're using his arm. And his feet, I think, are a little bit more talented than his arm because he's still not throwing a lot of accurate things. He had 2 interceptions this past week. So I'm going to be intrigued to see how this offense plays against this Indiana team. They're in the top 10 for both offense and defense. Right. They are 4th in scoring, though. Like, they know how to put up the points. And UCLA, yes, they're winning their games, but they're still allowing a bunch of points. Like that game their first game that they won, the one against Penn State, like it was back and forth. But that new offensive coordinator, who was originally their tight end coach, really is getting them super comfortable and everything like that. One thing I did read, and this is, I'm very big on this because this is just the way that I feel about football, is if you can't get your team to be disciplined, you're going to have harder issues when the competition gets harder. And UCLA, even though they're playing a lot better, they're still getting heavily penalized. So they have an average of 73.6 penalty yards. You can't have that many penalty yards because pretty much you're giving away scores at that point. You're giving away at least 1 touchdown a game because of the amount of yardages that you're either getting taken back from you or that's being given to another team. And Indiana, now with all of the scoring and stuff like that, with the 20 points last week, Indiana, I whatever everyone thinks that they're still like, no one knows what they are. I really like them. They haven't let more than 20 points in this whole season. They only allowed Oregon to score 20 points. Now, Oregon is definitely not the Oregon of last year, but Oregon is still a very good team. And Lanning, but Lanning knows what he's doing. Like, I'm sorry, like I like that Moore kid. I like what they're doing. But that Mendoza is like, 21 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Your 5th and 3rd down percentage. You have a +7 turnover ratio for this defense. And when I said this about the discipline, they're number 4 in penalty yards. They've only averaged about 28.6 yards in penalties. So they're not giving away the ball over stupid, dumb decisions. And that's literally when you're playing in these conference games, those are the things that sometimes get you stuck. And I think UCLA, I give them a lot of credit. You know, they fired the coach and they're playing really well and they're winning. And I think they're going to probably end up going to a bowl. But I don't see them pulling off an upset just yet. Again, like they pulled their big upset, which was that Penn State game, which was huge for them. And the traveling and stuff for them, you know, that's a big factor also. So if they have to continuously keep traveling, I don't know how successful they're going to stay. That's why I think that the point totals have gone down a little bit because they have to bounce back and forth. But I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'm very intrigued to see what they have in store for Nico this week. But I just think that this Indiana team, I truly believe that they are the real deal. I want to see them be successful this season.
Me too. I'm telling you, I think Mendoza puts himself in position because if the Heisman was today, it would be Mendoza or Ty Simpson. So, but Nico not can put himself in Heisman contention, but can improve his draft stock tremendously just by having a great game against Indiana. So I'm intrigued to watch the game because I know what could possibly happen or the outcome. Because like I said, this is one of them sneaky upset Saturdays, so stuff can go down. So it is what it is. Last game on deck, our game of the week here. Texas A&M Aggies, who should have lost to Arkansas 44-42, against the team that we know that ain't for real, the Bayou Bengals themselves, LSU Diabolical Tigers with Coach Brian Kelly. What you got this week for this game, Sarah? Our game of the week, Texas A&M versus LSU.
So Texas A&M has one thing that LSU is not easily defending against, and that is a dual threat quarterback. That is exactly what happened with Pavia. So Marcel Reed is playing a lot better this year. He is getting a bunch of yardages in that, like that. A&M's defense isn't probably playing as strong as they probably would have started the season. But again, you're playing against a much, much weaker LSU offense. They're ranked 84th in the FBS. Like it is mind-blowing to me how bad this offense is and how they just cannot seem to get it. I don't know what Nussmeier's like eligibility is this year. I would have to go a little bit deeper into that if he can. Yeah.
The diabolical Tim Lyons. Facts, I feel you, Tim. Diabolical.
I mean, it's going to be a fun game because it's an SEC game. I believe it. I don't know where it is. Is it at College Station or is it in the Bayou? But
it's in the Bayou.
It is in the
LSU,
Bayou. Okay.
In Death Valley. Yeah.
That would be the only that crowd can give that team life. That is truly how I feel like that way with a lot of these SEC teams. I feel it a lot in the Big Ten because just, that's where my heart is. But the SEC's fans and crowds and home crowds are insane. They're nuts. I hear the game day guys talking about it, the college game day guys, because I listen to Stanford Steve all the time, talks about the energy that you have. And that literally lifts up an entire team sometimes. So, I mean, the fact that it's there, I'll be intrigued to see what goes on. But I think A&M has enough in them that they can pretty much stop LSU from having any form of an explosion. And if Marcel Reed can use his feet enough, he's going to run at least 60, 70 yards against that defense because that just seems to be the one thing that they can't seem to stop right now.
Sarah, I agree 100%. But this is just my thing. Tylen Green last week for Arkansas had 256 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Had 12 carries for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but he's actually not too bad. His stats are pretty decent.
Is he a top 10 SEC quarterback?
He might be because the SEC quarterbacks are not looking so grand right now.
If you had to pick outside of Tyler Simpson and Pavia, who's the next man up? Nussmeier. I mean,
no.
listen. Okay.
I would say Stockton, if anything, because that kid actually has some
heart. Georgia?
Yeah, I like him. Yeah. I think he's putting in a lot of work, and he's still young. He's still got time. Kirby's going to get that team right because that's what he does.
I'm saying all that to say that I think that Texas A&M is also fugazi.
Yeah,
I think that you can run on them all day and night. I think you can run them all day and night. You just you have to be different in the run game, how you set it up. And once a team puts something out on film, another team's able to attack it. So, but I like King, the quarterback for A&M. Don't get me wrong. The kid's special. I like him a lot. But if A&M could get ahead any week, this the week they could get ahead. To trash Brian Kelly out of everybody. Brian Kelly, no eat trash. Yeah, with Tim, we remember what Kelly did at Notre Dame? Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. He did absolutely nothing in Notre Dame, and Freeman came in and handled his business. So, yeah. All right, so listen. We don't have any more games that we're going to talk to you today about on the Level Up Podcast. That's why you got to watch the Level Up Podcast on Saturday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have all the 5 games we just reviewed, the big pick, and we will have 3 additional games that we'll talk about for this week's slate of college football. Sarah, as we get out of here on the Level Up College Football Podcast on the KnoItAllz channel, what you got to say to tell the folks?
I mean, let's see how many upsets we can get. Let's see how many crazy games we can get. I am just loving, like, I love parody. I think it makes sports so much more fun. And the fact that college football has actually started to have it, it just makes it so much more entertaining. So I cannot wait to see, because there's gonna be upsets. Every week is an upset, which is what I love about it. So I can't wait to see which ones end up being an upset and which ends up being a blowout. So absolutely cannot wait.
Facts, absolute facts. We appreciate all you guys rocking with us on the Level Up College Football Podcast. If you have not subscribed to the Level Up Podcast on the KnoItAllz channel, please make sure that you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, share with a friend concerning what's going on with here, because we got 2 college football shows every week. They will be live on Mondays and Saturdays. And make sure you, like I said, you subscribe to the KnoItAllz Podcast. As for your boy Big G, my co-host Sarah C, and my girl Theresa-B that wasn't able to be with us, she'll be back with us on Saturday. Make sure you rock out with us on the Level Up College Football Podcast, live on the KnoItAllz channel, exclusively on YouTube. We'll check all you guys later on this week. We'll holler at y'all. Peace.